So the main takeaways I got from this class was basically starting a business is a lot harder than I thought. Like before this class, I thought you just had to have a good idea and naturally the business would run itself, but that's not the case. Like you have to find like a niche, you have to be able to fundraise, bring together a strong team, and have like a business plan. I also liked how in this class we didn't just scratch the surface of these examples, but also like got into like how to actually do it. Like to fundraise, you have to like well, you don't have to, but Kickstarter, Indiegogo is a good way to get money. Like angel investors, capitalists, ventures, all these things are good ways to get money. And like so we talked about that, just not like, oh, you have to fundraise to start your business. And lastly, I just like learned that there's a lot of trial and error in starting your own business. Like companies like Instagram and Facebook, they're very few, and a lot more companies just try to start up and end up not being a thing.
So I learned two big pieces of information from this class. The first being, people versus the idea. I always thought that it was if you had a really great, phenomenal idea, then everything else would just blossom from that, and you could get success if you just had that first little stealing. But actually, it really is the people and the execution and the team that can build your product or service into something that's going to be very successful. Execution matters almost more than the idea, and it's how you end up differentiating yourself from other businesses who might have similar great ideas. And that goes into how you develop and grow loyalty, which is the second biggest thing that I learned from this class, is that branding is everything. It's just in everything that you do, it's everything that you put out there, and it's emotional. So it can be stronger than logic and reason, and it's almost stronger than your actual product or service, because it's how people feel about you and your brand and what you're putting out there, and it's ultimately how they're going to choose you and remember you.
I would say my takeaways from this class have mostly been about developing a business plan properly, also just really defining the qualities of an entrepreneur, and really looking more into the entrepreneurial mindset have also made me think about more what that means and what that means for me and my career, and has put me on a path to continue to think about what I want to achieve in this field to college, as well as giving me a really strong platform for starting down that path. So I feel like I've just really overall gained a well-rounded knowledge of kind of what the life and journey of an entrepreneur will look like, and
So basically what I've learned from this class is that building a business is more than just having a good idea. There are a lot of like small details I would have never thought about that go into creating a company that I learned from this class. So for example, knowing about markets and what a stable market is, when you should enter a market, when a good time would be to enter that specific market. Also the different types of funding, such as like angels, super angels, venture capitalists, websites where you can get funding from, which are awesome ideas that I would have never known about had I not taken the class. And also just like aspects about what creates a good team, and the process of like developing a good team, your first employees, who you should hire, who to seek advice from, all great points of knowledge that I would have never known beforehand. And also just like the different ideas and like flaws and aspects of business plans that I would have never taken into account. So for example, little details such as having too many founders.
So the biggest thing that I learned in this class was about a lean startup. When I looked into starting a business before, I always wanted to have my product be my product before I even showed it to anyone. I wanted to perfect it and work on it on my own, and really just assumed that I knew what the people would want. And throughout this class, I learned that the most important thing is actually the minimum viable product. To build something, measure, and then learn from it, or vice versa, to seek to learn something, find what you need to measure, and then build that thing. Just in order to reduce the waste that it takes to run a business, which is extremely important for startups, this was actually just very helpful for me to learn in what I need to do for the future to be the most successful startup that I can be, and to save as much money, and to really create the product that the people want more than what I think they want. Thank you.